Let's do the thing.
Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Steve, and today I have a bunch of special guests with me. I have Brian Colin, our resident dungeon master for the World of Revilo today. Megan R. Miller, the author. Use the R or you will not find her. Uh, we've got Isaac Skaggs from Brian's team, and we have Chris O'Neill from Brotherwise Games. So, with that, I'm just going to throw it to you, Brian, and you can do your thing.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Cullen, and thank you for tuning in to tonight's very special episode set in the fantasy world Revilo. We're doing this game because right now we have a Kickstarter going for our D&D 5e campaign setting and bestiary filled with new playable races, new subclasses, new monsters, all sorts of crazy stuff. So the things you'll be hearing about tonight are all things from this world. Be sure to check it out in the link below so you can see the races that the people that are playing tonight are actually running in the game. So with that, are you guys ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Yep.
Let's do D&D
All right.
things.
Let's do this.
Actually, before we jump completely in, everybody tell the folks out there what your character's name is, what your race is, and a little physical description of yourself. We'll start with Dave since he's the top in my row in my video.
Sure, I will be playing Grizzle. He's a Berndazi. Am I saying that right?
Bernadazzi? Yep.
Bernadazi, giant red dragon lizard man, essentially, that live near and in volcanoes and like to sacrifice people from time to time. But, other than that, really good dude. And he is a battle master.
Excellent. Megan?
All right, so Spen is a Groblin rogue in a deep hood who is quick to smirk and slow to anger. She keeps her head down in mixed company.
Excellent. Then we go on to Isaac.
I am playing Avatar Crudge, who is a fanatic, Bernadazi fanatic cleric. Fanatic is one of the subclasses we're testing for the setting. And he is seeking, he's a missionary seeking sacrifices for the fiery pits, but he requires that they be willing sacrifices. And he is seeking a relic, I believe it is, in the marshes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chris, about you.
Yeah, I am playing Hawkham Brindle. Hawkham is a Proscenolite ranger. Proscenolites are sort of the so they're a tree-dwelling species. Prehensile tail, horns, fur, that fun stuff. Hawkham is like a lot of Proscenolites, painfully honest, painfully curious, but he's also a bit of got a bit of wanderlust. So he's run into this party because he's particularly curious about what's happening on the edges of the world of Revilo.
Excellent. Okay, so over the course of the past 3 weeks, you've traveled from the Waiju Desert, skirting the tree line of the Forest of the Dead, and ending your journey where the edge of the marsh meets the Bay of the Salts. Your feet, or your boots if you wear them, are soaked through, making your toes feel quite prunish. All of this has been on a quest guided by Avatar Crudge, for he is quite certain that a colony of Outlanders has infested the islands in the Salts. He believes that they have stolen an ancient relic idol that is a direct conduit to his god, the Emberson. Before you, you see a gigantic, once seafaring vessel that is wrecked and turned on its side, exposing its belly to the marshy region that you have been traversing. From a distance, you can see a lot of movement, both inside and out, and the wood that is splintered and broken away from the ship has allowed for what looks like a small market of vendors within the ship trading post. The wind blows strong, and you see patterned blankets blowing east from many of the stalls. The smell of salt water is strong and warm coming from the coast. What do you guys do?
The air is so sticky here.
This place is terrible.
I hate it here. My feet are soaked through. Emberson, save us. Grizzle, Emberson, save us.
I haven't seen a single volcano since we've been here. It's so wet. Ugh.
I like it. It's different.
Your fur smells so bad. That was his inside voice.
Excellent. As you keep moving forward and getting closer to this big ship that's turned on its side, you can see it looks like there's about 4 different stalls just kind of mashed up inside of it. You can see like there's definitely like on the far end. The far end is big and wide open with a lot of different people, a lot of different races mixed in there. There's Groblins, there's Sorcia. Sorcia are more Ugnaught-looking creatures, kind of pig-like creatures that live in the Waiju Desert. There's quite a few. There's a few humans and dwarves in there as well. And it looks like the far end is people just kind of trading things back and forth. At the other end, you can see a bunch of different like meat things being like rotated around. Like you can see a big open fire where there's meats being cooked. Beside that, you see an area where there's a bunch of different fish type things hanging and dangling that look like they're salted. And then another place that just kind of looks like a weird hodgepodge of many different things from where you can see that's probably like some sort of strange mercantile.
So this stuff has been built like on the ruins of like a ship. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So a ship has crashed up on shore because the salt's where it opens up into a big bay, and you can see an island not too far off in the distance. And so a ship had come in and crashed there, turned on its side, and they've built this kind of strange, this strange merchant area here for people to come and trade from different regions.
Is there other boat traffic in the bay?
There is not. There you see bits and pieces of like giant sails that are all tattered and torn, all broken and stuff. You know that further northwest along the coast is where all of these ships have wrecked, and that all of them seem to come in and then almost like the Bermuda Triangle circle around and then all wreck around the same area. So there are small like skiffs attached to the bay that can go out to the island and back, but it isn't any large vessels.
Emissary, what do you want to do?
I see Outlanders. Let's see if any of them see fit to grace the lava flows with their flesh.
I do the dog thing, you know, when they lick their lip, but like the opposite side, like all the way around. Yes, let us see.
All right, I guess we start walking up there.
Okay. So as you walk up, go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm going to stay like close in the shadow of these larger beings and look for sparklies as we walk.
Excellent. Okay. And so for anybody that's watching, if you haven't gone over and checked out what the different races look like, the Bernadazzi are usually like 6.5, 7 feet tall, even like when they usually hunch over a little bit. So the Groblin, who's more like 4 feet-ish tall, is definitely in the shadows, and the Persinolite as well is definitely a much smaller creature. As you head up there, you can see like working the meat like rotisserie type spits is a dark-skinned dwarven character. Now, many of you probably haven't really seen many dwarves before, but you've heard of them. But these like humanoid creatures are so strange looking to you because most of them, like almost all the things that you've seen, either are reptilian in nature or have fur of some sort. So like just like the sheer just kind of exposed flesh is not something. Even the Groblins are more scaly and leathery than the dwarves or the humans that you're starting to see around Revilo. But he's working these pits, turning the meats and like bringing them over to people. And you see a Lamanali, which is overworking the salted meats, which is weird because you've probably never seen one before, though you've heard of them. They're almost mermaid-like in body because they kind of drag their tails behind them on their knuckles, but this one is definitely working the fish area. Yes.
Oh, look, finally something that reminds me of home. Cooked meat.
Yes, this smells delicious. Outlander, your exposed flesh is distasteful to me, but it's your food smells so good.
What can I get you?
Well, I'm quite famished. I believe my crew is too. Like, how big are these like spits of meat? Is it like?
So like it's okay. A creature like about this big around, and like the legs are very long. You can see a tail like as he turns it, this tail that he has coiled wrapped around the long pole of the spit. And there is no head attached to this creature. It's not something you've ever seen before. I don't
recognize the creature. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Unless somebody wants to make a roll and see if it's something you think you would have seen.
Can we Renaissance fair this, biatch?
You can.
I think we totally can. Yeah.
You want a leg? Mm-hmm.
Brian, let me see if I recognize the food.
Our ranger friend might.
Yeah,
have a shot at that.
If I'm horribly offended or not.
Yeah.
While he's figuring out, I'm already eating it.
Isaac, what stat should or what skill should you roll for that?
I would say probably nature, if it's to identify a creature. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nature? Okay, so what do I roll? I've got a 0 modifier for nature.
Okay, so just roll a d20 and I'll tell you whether or not you succeed or fail. 12. Okay. Because you've been around a bit, and especially as learned as you have been coming from the floating forest, you know that it looks like what's called a wrinkle snare, which you know is from this region. When they are not rotisserized, they look kind of like this creature.
Ooh.
Except the shell is popped off and it is being eaten. So,
do I have any sense of protectiveness over wrinkle snarks?
Not really. I mean, they're not a sentient species, so it's not like unless your character just doesn't eat animals at all.
Wouldn't say never eats animals.
Think of them almost like if you're going into an area that's very populated with small monkeys that tend to come into a village and steal things. They're very much like that.
Okay, very good. Well, no, that doesn't bother me too much.
Okay.
But I am really curious as to what this dwarf is afflicted with. Why is he so bald all over his body? May I ask him that?
Ask away.
Why? What are you afflicted with, Outlander?
Afflicted with? I'm afflicted with being in this strange land and no way back to my home.
You've got a horrible case of mange. You have no hair anywhere. What has happened to you?
Look at the tail on his face.
Yes, do you not see my long hair here? He has these long kind of dreadlocks coming off of his head.
But you're naked.
Also,
bald all over. I'm just so curious as to, is this some disease? Is this normal for your people? What's going on?
Have you never seen any of us? I mean, there have been Outlanders here for maybe 30 years from what I hear. Are you that sheltered?
You are my first mangy dwarf.
Huh. Yes, we are not furry like you strange folks.
Huh.
I would like to take the opportunity while he's talking to this person to pickpocket.
Excellent. So are you going to move off to, like, the one area over to the side is a bunch of different people, like, trading amongst themselves? Or are you going to try and get people that are waiting in line?
I'm gonna get the person that he's talking to. I'm gonna move and look like I'm investigating the meats.
Okay.
And while he's talking, while he's distracted, just kind of, like, dip a finger into his pocket. And...
Excellent. Go for it.
Oh. Well... That's going to be a 7.
As you're going and you're starting to reach towards his purse, he quickly grabs your hand, and then he's going to try to take a hot poker out of the spit and try and burn the tip of your hand. What's your AC?
15.
Ooh.
Okay, he misses just barely, and you might want to get back behind the line.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted by the smells and the sights. And I'm just gonna, like, back up behind one of my large friends.
He moves his pouch just a little bit and keeps his hand down by it. Do any of you want any food, or do you want to move on to a different stall?
Yeah, I'll take one. Anyone else? I'm buying.
Yes, smells delicious.
Please.
Yeah, I'll have a bit.
Crudge gets out his coin purse that he doesn't really understand currency that much. They don't really use it. He's gotten it on his travels because he's interacted with people.
It's like 1, 2, 3, and then he points to spin and goes 4, 5, 6 copper, and he starts pulling stuff and just starts chopping up sections of one of the already cooked wrinkle snares.
Okay. I'll give him 6 copper.
Okay.
Yeah.
He comes over and brings it over. It's like, go and eat this somewhere else.
Okay.
As you wish.
I hand them out to my group. The crunchy bits are delicious.
It's very gamey, but it tastes really good. The smoke on it's delicious. You can tell that he knows what he's doing when it comes to rotisserizing these strange little animals.
Dwarves! We should get some dwarves for back in the homeland.
Yes, Emberson would delight in their bald flesh gracing his magma. Should we ask him?
Yes, it would be a great honor for him.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
I guess we go back over there.
Excuse me, sir. The emissary would have something he wishes to ask you.
You want seconds? It was delicious, was it not?
It was very good, thank you. We think a person of your culinary prowess would do well to grace the lava flows with their flesh and glorify the Emberson. Would you care to accompany us back to our homeland to do such a thing?
You want me to cook for your people?
So to speak, you could say that, right?
Yes,
He means dump you in
absolutely.
a volcano full of magma.
It's a great honor.
Dump me in where? I'm not
Volcano.
volcanoes. No, no, I'm not going anywhere near volcanoes.
Oh, well, suit yourself. Emberson be with you, sir. And we just leave him alone because he said no.
No. Okay.
Might this be a Outlander to ask about the relic?
I suppose it might be. Outlander. What am I looking for? I'm sorry.
So you know that there is, or you've heard that there's a group of Outlanders that have gone onto the island to try and stay away from everybody else, and you've heard that they stole the piece that you're looking for, that relic that you're looking for. So
Okay.
and you can see the island from where you are, like beyond the ship. You can see it because it's not that far off of the water,
Right. So these aren't those Outlanders, I'm pretty sure.
as far as you know.
Okay.
He could be a spy. Don't tell him anything.
So it is a thought. Yes, Outlander. Since you will not grace our lava flows with your flesh, we ask a bit of information instead.
You can ask whatever you want, whether I tell you or not. So
That's fair.
I will tell that small strange horned one.
Yes.
Especially him.
Well, we're
mind.
we're horribly curious, you see. Have you seen any sort of suspicious-looking Outlanders over on yonder island? Maybe a bit more furry than you, or maybe a bit less. We have no idea. But they might have something of importance to my lizard friends here.
Suspicious? No, not suspicious. Maybe suspicious to you because you don't seem to understand our culture at all.
Might they be of talk to something that they acquired, something special, something rare, here from our little island here?
I don't know. Do you want to buy another round of food? I think you look hungry enough.
It's just one of those transactions. Yeah, well, certainly we can probably choke down another one of those delicious Rimpelsteins.
Yeah.
So I'll throw some of my coin down. Another 6 or 7 coppers, whatever it was before.
Okay. He chops up some more, and as he's pushing it back over to you, he's like, "There's definitely some strange ones over there. They've got some strange mark that has been pressed into their cheek, and they seem to keep to themselves."
The strange mark. Can you describe it?
He goes and he pulls up like he pulls a stick up, and like he comes over around the front of the little stall, and in the sand down below he just kind of draws in the dirt. And give me just a second, and I will show this to you.
Perfect.
It's kind of this strange shape.
Strange.
Everybody roll a perception check.
Perception?
Or no, knowledge. No, I guess it would be just a...
It would be history or religion or... I don't know.
No, just
No?
just an intelligence check, because it's not that old.
Okay, cool.
I rolled a 6, so that's going to give me a 5.
Okay.
Flat 12.
You
7.
see a bird when he draws that. What's that?
7.
7 and 12. And for Hakam?
Unfortunately, an 8.
Okay. No, it doesn't strike anything with any of you. And Hakam, I forgot, you also have a Nirgnis with you, which is a small, almost bat-like creature.
Is he nocturnal, though?
He is, so he's probably just sitting on your short horn, maybe taking a nap.
Okay, very good.
Yep. He's like, look for that. There's something off with the ones that have that mark on their cheeks.
Okay.
We need a boat. We need to sail across.
You need a boat?
Yes.
Well, I can. If you come back here, just before nightfall, I can get one of the other Outlanders to ferry you across. But it's going to cost something. What do you have that you could trade? Because sometimes money here is not nearly as good as items that you might have on your person.
Do you need something killed or thrown into a pit of lava?
That we can handle. We're quite good. Quite adept.
We're good at that. It's specialty.
Not really services, more product that we can trade for other things.
All right. I've got a couple. This would be a big deal for me to give this up, but I've got a couple seeds from the trees that my people live in. So
Excellent.
I'm going to...
Tupana trees? The Tupana trees?
The Tupana trees, that's them. Yeah, I sort of keep these with the idea of sort of planting a couple of these whenever I find a place that's suitable, but I might be willing to part with a couple of these. They are sort of magical trees imbued with a certain wisdom and power of their own.
I have not seen any of these here, yes. I've heard of that area, but I have not gone to it.
We could leave Spin with you.
No.
No.
Spin that one?
Yes.
Trying to reach my purse. No, I don't think so. Well, are you good at washing dishes?
No. I will break everything.
How about 2 of the seeds for all 4 of you? One for every 2. And it will guarantee you passage back.
Yeah. All right. You drive a hard bargain, bald thing, but I will absolutely. I will do that. That's reasonable.
My name is Morgan, and just ask for me when you come back close to nightfall.
Morgan, can I touch your face fur? Is that like a towel?
No,
That's a really weird place for a towel.
That's a really weird. Why? You really fight that many things to have so much armor on you?
Yes.
I'd watch out; it might rust in this salty air.
Yeah.
Yes, this place is terrible.
All right, I'm back to work. I will see you in a few hours.
Okay.
He looks up at the suns and sees that it's starting to get into late afternoon.
Okay.
Emissary, perhaps you can prophesize to some of these Outlanders.
Yes, absolutely, Grizzle. Let us see who will bring glory upon the Embrisson. So, who do we see? Who do we see looking around that we can harass?
So there is like a fish, like a dried fish place right next door. As you look over there, you see the lemon alley looking and just kind of staring at you guys. As Hackham and Spin have picked up a lot of places. The Bernadazzi are kind of, people are kind of afraid of them a little bit. Like even a lot of the Revilians are afraid of them, not just Outlanders.
Right.
They've been known to be kind of very brutal and very known for just taking people and throwing them into their volcanoes and without asking any questions. So the people seem to be a little bit wary of your party.
As you do. I'm going to go find like a crate or a box from one of the stalls, and it doesn't matter if they're using it or not. I'm going to grab it and give them a really toothy smile. I just need to borrow this for a moment. And then I'll take it over to the emissary to stand on.
Oh,
Okay, you do that. That's great.
thank you, Brother Grizzle.
I suspect this is the part why Spin hangs out with us, because we create a big commotion.
really
You are a very big distraction, and people
And we draw a
are
crowd.
not looking at me.
Uh,
I'm gonna roll another pickpocket roll while he's talking.
Excellent.
okay.
So-
I should prepare.
Dirty 20.
Oh, beautiful.
What's that? Nice.
Dirty 20.
Okay. You managed to pull the bag off of a Sorcia, and you know Sorcias from being in the Waiju are often tinkerers and have lots of different strange things that they make. So this bag, you can feel, has lots and lots of different shaped pieces within it. I assume you aren't gonna like pop it open and look at it where you are.
Oh no, I'm gonna go hide somewhere and look at the new sparklies.
Excellent. After you move off, you notice that there's like all sorts of little weird gears and gadgets and gizmos. Like he's taken apart a bunch of different things and dumped it in here, mixed with probably like 5 silver and 2 copper and another strange, very, very brightly colored, almost pearl, but it's a bright, like very luminescent orange.
I am delighted.
Nice.
Excellent. So, Crudge, you stand up on top of this soapbox.
Uh-huh.
Okay. As you're doing that, people are like starting to fill out from the area where they were trading. They're starting to like just kind of like, what the hell is going on here? Something is definitely amiss, and this isn't the normal everyday here at this trading post.
I have a drum, and I'm kind of like playing it, and at the same time corralling people.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah. Do you want me to start? Do you want me to start yelling at people?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to
Yeah,
start-
totally. Well, whatever you want to do.
Oh, okay. Revilians and Outlanders, give me your attention, please. Those of you willing to glorify the Emberson, please do accompany my comrades and I back to the fiery pits to bless the lava flows with your flesh. Onward and on. I think that's probably a loop. You know?
Yep.
Hey, Brian, while Crudge is up there sort of extemporizing and has everyone's attention, I just want to look around and see, do I see that little symbol anywhere, that sort of bird-like symbol on anyone or anybody?
Roll a perception check or investigation, right?
Investigation.
Am I right with that? So,
Oh, dang it, man.
It's your call.
8.
You're
Either
the
way.
you're the DM. You're always right.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's whatever you feel is right, buddy.
yeah, perception is good, so use that. But if you roll an 8, it's still going to be low.
It's low.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8.
You're looking around and you're not.
Oh, wait a minute. If it's perception, sorry, that's a 14. I have a. What is
Ooh.
that? How do I work that? I have a 6. If I'm reading that right.
Yeah, you have proficiency.
Oh yeah.
And then
So
you have a 16 wisdom, right?
I do 16 wisdom, and then I'm a ranger. So
There you go.
Okay.
sorry, that's a 14.
So, out of all the people that are kind of gathering around, most people are kind of standing back, but more than anything, Outlanders are kind of being drawn in only because this is quite the spectacle to them. And so there is a tall, slender, light-skinned humanoid with pointy-ish ears standing there, and you notice that like on their cheek is a branded symbol about the shape that was drawn on the ground.
And what's he doing, or she doing? What's he or she doing?
She is just kind of standing there, just kind of listening and trying to understand the weird rhetoric that's coming out of Crudge's mouth.
So I point her out to Spin. Just sort of poke Spin while she's going through her shinies, and I just point over at the also mangy, apparently pointy-eared thing.
Another bold one. Does she have something you want?
And I tap my cheek. She's got the bird.
Well, I can't steal that. Oh, I understand. Huh.
So can I sort of? I'm gonna just try to get some position on this person so that if they do start to if things as Crudge is chatting, if they do start to break up the crowd, I can sort of follow them and track them.
Okay, sounds good. So Crudge, you go on for a little while. You have one person come up and just kind of throw a copper down at your feet.
Yes, you sir, you feel the love of the Emberson. Come accompany us. Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's a Sorcia that just kind of looks up at you. Science, and perhaps Credona, but no Emberson for me. Although
Very well, sir. Very well.
At one point.
You have a lovely evening. Thank you. I will add that copper to my inventory. Excellent.
Most people, like after hearing you say it, the same thing, kind of over on a loop, they just kind of go back to what they were doing. And at this point, there really isn't anybody standing around. How come you see the elf go back to the area where there's a bunch of people trading, and they're just kind of standing at a small table with a bunch of like small trinkets. There's a bunch of shells that came out of the ocean, and then some other odd knickknacks that you've never seen anything like before.
Well, for the moment, I'll keep an eye on them. I feel like I shouldn't inform our Bernadazzi colleagues. I feel like they might go off a little half-cocked on this one.
We don't have any chill. You know that by now. We got zero.
Yeah. So let's just wait for a little bit. I'm gonna keep an eye on them while we wait for our boat ride.
Okay. So, is there anything else you guys want to do?
Find lodgings.
Nightfall hits.
Lodgings. Find lodgings.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So this area, like most people, from what you know of the area, they come here and then right before nightfall, they tend to close out and then go back to wherever they live. If they live here in this area of the Salts, it's almost like they have little like sea shacks up along the beach, like little just small huts. They often get destroyed in really bad weather and then they just rebuild them. So it's not anything that's really big or permanent. You're not going to find like a nice inn to stay in this region. Further deep into the kind of not forest but junglish area, there are more like villages within there that you could go to. But since you're going to be traveling across the water onto the island, you probably won't be able to get back here until the next morning.
Okay.
So there's no like taverns or inns in this particular area.
No. Like the like if you're going to get a drink, you're going to get it here at this big ship trading post, or you're going to travel for probably an hour, a little further off of the coast.
So, emissary, should we just camp here for the night?
Yes, I believe so. We probably will end up camping on the island that we're going to at nightfall. I would imagine, right? We'll have to see.
Oh, I was under the impression we're coming back in the morning. It's at night. Perfect.
Yeah.
I think we're leaving at nightfall, so I imagine we do the thing. I don't know if we're going to get back at night.
Is there...
What's up?
Is there...
So we just need to burn a couple hours.
Yeah. Is there any stalls that offer, like personal amenities, like, you know, like spa treatments or that kind of thing? like if someone wanted to get a bath.
Like a bathhouse. Yeah.
No, you see some people just kind of wading out into the water and enjoying the kind of the bay-ish ocean, like they're swimming in it. But no, like real.
I will just walk up to a random person.
Uh-huh.
Where can I get a good, hot sand wash?
I like that.
You get a metal tub, and you put fire underneath of it, and you fill it with sand, and you can kind of roll around in it. It gets into all your scales. It's really good.
Oh, it's the best.
I've not heard of
Like
such
a chinchilla.
Is that something in the fire
canon.
pits where you come from?
No, we don't need it there. We don't have all this blasted water there. But other places that they sometimes cater to Bernadazzi. They know what we like, so they make these sand baths for us.
Are there going to be more of you coming?
Emissary, what do you see in the future?
Oh, Imbrisum willing, my child. Imbrisum willing, there will be many Bernadazzi.
Lava everywhere.
Yes.
Then next time we will have something for you. Describe that to me again.
Oh, you take a metal tub and you build a fire underneath of it, real low though, and you fill it with sand, and then you can roll around in it.
Okay.
So good. You should try it sometime. It's really good for your skin. And then I just kind of look at them.
Yeah, it clicks. Something clicks.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what we can do for the next time that you are here. And with that, it's starting to get a little darker. The sun's starting to go down. You see that Morgan is definitely packing up his shop. You see him burying meat like under the ground and putting it deeper down underneath his area, and everything's starting to just kind of close up for the evening. The mercantile that's next door is all getting boarded up, and like locks are being placed over everything. The place at the end, there's still people kind of lingering about where folks were trading, but everyone else is just shutting things down. Hackham, you see the elf that you were looking at is packing their stuff and heading over to the edge of the water, where there are now like 4 different rafts that are parked up along the edge.
I presume these are too small to stow away on?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, should we talk to this elf lady? I mean, what?
What would you say to her if you did?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm painfully honest, so I'm liable to tell her just what we're looking for. So I'm probably not the person we want to send to do that.
What precisely do you want to find out? I say, sighing, like this is just an inevitability.
Yeah.
Like, we need. Does she? What can she tell us about the people on the island? Is basically what we want. But my people don't lie. We don't even have a word for lying. So I'm not exactly good at fooling someone.
Yes, I understand. You have a deficiency, and I get up and walk over to them. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
I have questions about your island and about the people on it.
My island.
Well, that island.
Okay. Yes. What about that island?
Well, just customs. If we were to visit, what would we expect?
Oh, there's lots of wildlife there. You would want to be very careful. For
Of
there's
course.
large snake-like creatures that I've seen swallow things much larger than you whole in one foul.
Larger than you?
Why, yes.
That is quite amazing.
I mean, I'm very slim, so I can go down easy. I've seen quite portly folks being swallowed up by these giant creatures.
Interesting. And do you have anything to stop this from happening, or does it just...
No, just quick wit, nimble, watching where you are, being comfortable and familiar with your surroundings. And always just always be a little bit scared.
Sound words to live by any place and any time.
Why do you wish to travel over to the island? Is there something there that you searched for?
Oh, I've heard wonderful things about the culinary over there.
Interesting.
I smile.
What colony?
Culinary, the food.
Culinary, oh. Interesting. Okay. I guess it's okay. There's only so many wrinkle snares one can eat, and only so much fish, but if that's what you're into.
It is.
Okay.
So, what precisely is the protocol for a visit? Is there something in particular one would need to do?
No, there are some small villages there with goblins like yourself, although they are a slightly different shade. They're a little more orange in tone. Um, but I'm sure you could probably go and look for lodging within one of their villages, or there are many places right up along the edge in the evening where a lot of the lemon alley will sleep. So perhaps you could. I don't think they would have anywhere for you in the evening, but I would definitely check with one of the Groblin villages.
One more question.
Yes.
The imprint, and she's just like kind of gestures to the mark. How did you do that?
You see her kind of shudder, and like her eyes get hard all of a sudden. She goes, "How did I do what?"
Mark yourself.
I did not. And then she said, "Good luck with the Groblin villages," and she starts, "I hope you find what you're looking for there." And she starts heading over to the rafts, just waiting to get aboard one.
And I back off because I know anger when I see it, and my self-preservation will not allow me to linger further.
Yep.
And then I repeat all of this to the party.
Oh, interesting.
That is. Didn't the gentleman with the face tail tell us that we were going to get passage? We already paid for it, correct, Hackham?
Yes, I gave up 2 of my best seeds. We better.
Oh. Well, Emberson thanks you for your sacrifice.
Emberson can thank me with coin when he gets a chance.
We shall see. He moves in very mysterious ways.
I will pass some of the silvers that I pickpocketed earlier on because I am actually far more interested in the gears and the sparkly little items that I acquired than I am in the coins.
Sure.
Excellent. As you're doing that, Morgan comes up. It is time now. You can go across and you can ride on one of these. He starts leading you over.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Is it to one of the skiffs?
It is. There's a young human child on one, along with a gangly human holding a big pole that's going to be steering it. He's like, "This is Sully. He will take you across, and if you are there first thing in the morning, he will bring you back across."
First thing in the morning.
Sully kind of looks at you, looks around, or if you want to stay a day or two, he'll bring you back whenever you want. Whenever he's coming back, he comes in the morning and goes back in the evening. And Sully just kind of looks at you all and is like, and Morgan gives him a small pouch filled with something, probably, and it's like, okay.
Very good. Anyone have any questions before we do this?
That thing really gonna hold us all?
Well, let's see. Maybe you come on one at a time, and we'll see how it holds up.
Hackham sort of scrambles on and scrambles up the mast. Is it sail driven?
It is not. It's just like you can. It looks like you could probably swim across if you really wanted to, but every now and again you'll just because from where the edge of the bay is to the island, it doesn't look very far.
I'm not a huge fan of water, so I'll just sort of try to find the highest, safest spot on the boat. Maybe I'll actually just clamber up on top of one of my Bernadazzi friends here.
That would be okay.
I'll take a position in the center of the boat, the skiff.
As you get on, it's definitely, you feel it kind of wobbly underneath of you. It doesn't feel like it's the best thing to probably go on water, but you probably have never been on water before in your life, so it feels a little very, very strange.
Mm-hmm.
As you get on, you can see stuff out in the distance in the waters, like coming up out of the water and then splashing down, making loud sounds. Things that seem like they're probably very, very large out in the sea.
Mm.
It's like,
Interesting.
all right, Get on, hurry, all of you. Let's get on quick. Let's get across before night falls and the dark things in the water, that annex gossel that y'all believe in, rears its ugly tentacles.
Yeah, that spurs me on to hurry up and get on.
Okay.
I
And
sit in Grizzle's
annex
shadow.
gossel is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts pulling this big, like, long oar, and he gets down at one end of the boat and just kind of walks it across, like walks all the way down, then walks back and walks it back, and you're just kind of slowly going across. As you're doing that, you see the other skiffs that were kind of lined up, slowly taking their time, going about the same pace as you're going to the, you're heading south, so you're going to the eastern side of the island where the other ones seem to be going off in the other direction.
There's a lot of water around us. It's everywhere.
I don't like it.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
It doesn't give off any heat whatsoever.
None.
Oh, it gets cold at night. It gets very cold. But the fish that are in here are delicious. And, I don't know, there's much more water where I'm from.
You're not serious.
Water, it flows through us. It flows through each of you as well.
If you say so.
I'm pretty sure the emissary would disagree.
I would like to keep my water where it is.
So this goes on. The child is kind of eyeing each of you and is very curious. You can tell that he's never seen anything like the Bernadazzi before.
Crudge smiles really big. He's trying to be friendly, but he's probably terrifying.
Yep. It's like, Dad, are they wyverns?
That little one, the little one, is it for sale?
He goes quickly back and holds like the oar by him.
I pinch
Stay away from-
Grizzle.
There's nothing for sale here. Nothing. We'll get you across the water.
Thanks. Sorry, emissary, you will not have another one.
It's quite all right. Next time.
You guys get across the water. You see a lot of the lemon alley that was working the fish area, like kind of swimming along, almost dolphin-like in how it swims through the water. You'll hear big splashes off in the distance. You'll hear strange, like almost singing, even further off. And then floating above the water in certain areas, you'll see almost like small flocks of these giant, brightly colored ostrich-like birds that are just very bulbous and long necks and long beaks with these big, bright, like almost seashell-like plumes coming off of their face. And as your skiff starts to go by, they kind of dip their long neck heads down into the water, almost to avoid looking at you.
Morgan should try cooking them. They're big.
Yes,
There's
there's lots
more
of
meat.
Yes.
But they are fierce. They're much angrier than the food that Morgan cooks.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
True, but risk means reward.
Very
The
true.
slow-moving vessel finally gets you there. It feels like it's been really long, just because of how awkward the human that's moving the boat and his son is, and it gets you there probably about 40 minutes or so's time getting across the water. The sun is almost all the way down, and the moon's out this evening, so there is some nice light on the beach as you get across.
Okay.
Brian, my as we get to that point, my Neargness, my little bat creature,
Yep.
whose name is Burr, his little chest, he has these sort of rocky growths on his chest, and they start to glow as the sun goes down and the moon comes up. He wakes up and sort of flutters off, so he's out and about.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So the guy pulls the skiff up onto shore. He jumps into the water when there's a couple of feet beneath him, and he's up to his knees and he's pulling it up. Oh, you can come back whenever you like. If you're looking for somewhere to spend the night, if you follow this path, and there's a path that looks like it's been traveled pretty thoroughly that goes from the beach directly into the jungle that is grown up on this big island. Now that you're on it, it's much bigger than it looked from on the shore.
Mm.
But there's definitely a path that goes directly into the jungle. And he's like, if you follow this, and then when there's a left to take the left. You'll get to a village in a probably, well, I walk. It depends on how fast you move. Probably 30 or 40 minutes or so.
Sully, do you know about the marked ones?
That's not something that's talked about.
Why not?
I just talked about it.
That's not something we talk about. If you ever want to go and find out more about it, go to Merk's Hollow and you'll know. And so you guys know that Merk's Hollow was once a big city called Crookstooth, which when the Outlanders came into Revilo, there was one Outlander in particular, Merk von Horvath, who took over the city and just kind of took it as his own, renamed it after himself. And a lot of the indigenous people there are not very happy with how they took over the city, and so you know that there's a lot of tension there. There's the potential for a revolution right now that's going on there, a revolt within the main indigenous people of Revilo against the humans and elves and dwarves that are living there, and more importantly, just against Baron Merk von Horvath. So. If you want to know more, you go there and you ask them about it. It will not be talked about on this island.
It's quite a journey. They must really not be comfortable speaking of it.
Is Merk's Hollow on the island?
It is not on this island. It's on the main continent.
Got it.
If you were to travel here.
Oh.
Okay, let me pop open this dice tray.
Yeah.
One of the dice trays that is a add-on for our current.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
It's right up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's on the northwest side of the continent, and that's where almost. Go ahead.
Nowhere remotely close, though.
No, it would take quite some time to travel there.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's busy tying up his boat. Do you all start to go into the jungle, or what do you do?
I am very carefully watching the tree line for things and familiarizing myself with my surroundings because I was told familiarity with my surroundings would keep me alive here. I am indeed a little bit afraid.
Cool.
Okay.
One of us needs to be. I think we just start walking down the path.
Okay.
Grizzle, if you don't mind.
Brian, I will immediately clamber into the trees and sort of mirror their movements, but from the treetops.
Okay. So these trees are so much different than the trees that you're used to in the floating forest because these are much more tropical in the type of flora that's here, and so it's still easy for you to navigate through, but it's definitely different.
It's different. Well, that's cool. I'm curious about it.
Yep.
And maybe even a little distracted because it's so different and interesting.
Okay.
Cool.
And so the trees here are definitely not nearly as tall as the floating forest, but so you're easily swinging through and climbing throughout. Do you actually go on closer to the top so that you can see the moon, or are you down like once there's like the canopy of the forest, you'll probably lose them unless you're.
No, I'm more interested in keeping an eye on them, sort of while at the same time checking out the forest. I'm not really getting above the canopy.
Okay. All right. Y'all are traveling through. It smells in here so much different than the rest of where you've been within Revilo. There's very sweet smells, even though it's very hot and humid and moist within the jungle that you're in. Even with the little bit of moonlight that's coming in, you can see vibrant colors and things that are kind of glowing a little bit, very much like the Neargness's chest. There are things that, like flowers and insects, that just have this luminescence about them.
Ooh.
I
Pretty.
will strike a torch because it's night,
Okay.
right? It's nighttime.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. You light it up, and you can see that every now and again you'll see things kind of moving slightly off on trees, like slight slithering things or crawling things. Nothing that would probably terrify you as a Bernadazzi, but me personally as a human, it would freak me out.
Person, bless this light.
Excellent. You guys travel for about 15 minutes and then make a perception check.
Perception? Alrighty. I can't remember if I have.
Do I get any bonus or penalty to mine, Brian, based on where I am?
Actually, yes. From where you are, roll with advantage, which means you roll 2d20 and take the highest one.
11.
Oh, bugger. 11.
Big 7.
15.
Nice.
Okay. All of a sudden, as you're kind of traveling through Grizzle, like you're pushing certain vines out of the way to get through, and one of the vines that you push out of the way kind of whips itself around, starts trying to whip itself around your arm. You all notice this large, giant snake-like creature that's spotted in weird yellows, almost leopard-like with bright neon colors. It's very similar to this creature,
Ooh.
but its coloration is much different. There are 4 vine-like hooks that are coming down and trying to attack the 3 of you that are on the ground level.
Okay.
I hiss and bite it.
Because it was it got everybody. It gets one attack first because it was hiding in plain sight, and then from there we'll roll initiative. What is your AC, Grizzle?
22.
Woo!
Nicely done. Okay, let's see. So it actually hits with its tentacle.
Yep.
And then it takes 11 damage as you feel the tentacle start to whip around your arm, and it sinks one of its like hooks deep into your flesh. The following behind, another tentacle comes at you, Crudge. What is your AC?
17.
And it missed with that one. Another one comes at Grizzle, since Grizzle was in the front, and manages to hit again.
Wow.
Yes. Doing 7 damage. And then the very last one, because you were all kind of marching together, right? And it's these long tentacles have a very, very long reach. You see it going almost like 15 feet to get and work its way towards you, spin. And what AC do you have?
15.
Okay. And it lashes out towards you, but just barely misses and whisks a tree close by. Now, do y'all want to? Let's roll initiative, everybody.
Right.
6.
D20, Brian?
Yes, D20. And then on your sheet, near the top middle area, there should be an initiative modifier.
Okay. I got a 15.
Same.
Whopping 5.
Whopping 5, 15, and put my bonuses real quick. Okay. All right. So, Crudge and Hackham, what are you both doing? You're both in the lead. So let me know what you all would like to do. Let's go with the Crudge first, since I have you listed on my sheet first.
Sure. Is my my faithful ally, is he grappled by this creature, whatever it is? I assume it's
yes. Sorry.
He is? Okay. Cool. What did I bring?
Actually, no. I'm sorry. He just attacked. He didn't actually grapple that round.
He didn't grapple? Okay,
No.
cool. Well, in that case, I will go. Am I base to base with it? How close am I to the tentacle? I
So
guess.
all you saw were these tentacles hanging down, and you
Right.
saw, like as you looked up, you saw like wrapped around one of the trees this giant snake-like creature.
Okay, so I've seen the big snake-like creature. Okay.
Right. Yep.
Gotcha.
How giant, Brian?
It is a. Let's see, what's this? They are they're large in D&D terms. So for you, yeah, you're a small creature, so it's probably like it's probably a good like 4 feet diameter.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, he's beastly.
Okay, so Krudge takes a step back without incurring opportunity attack, or if he does, he will. I guess he doesn't. Whatever. And I'm going to cast Bane on this thing.
Okay.
So that is a Wisdom save, if I remember right.
Okay.
Did I write it on my sheet? No, of course not. That would have been again.
And what is he rolling against?
My spell DC, which is 14.
Okay. He made the save.
Well, then nothing happens. Is it a save? It's a charisma save. So.
Oh, charisma. Well, so
if you rolled high enough, you rolled high enough.
Well, he's got it. So he got a 15. What'd you say it was?
14.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh well, that's my spell slot gone.
Okay. Hack
That's my turn. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, is this guy a monstrosity?
Yes.
Oh, great. That's my favorite enemy.
Yes.
Okay. What's my range? Or how far away from this guy am I? I mean, is he like halfway up the trees? Am I? How far away am I?
You are probably so you're up on these trees. He was over here, dangling down. So you're kind of like across the path from him, but you can probably still like probably leap and attack him. I don't know. I don't remember what weapons you use. So, or you could easily shoot him with a bow if you had that.
He's got short swords and a bow.
How does Grizzle look? I mean, does Grizzle look like he's just taking a couple slaps to the face, or does he look really beat up? Or whoever got hit?
Oh, he's fine.
He's fine. Okay. I'm going to spend one of my actions just checking around and making sure there's not more of these, Brian.
Okay. Yeah. From what you can see, you don't see anything else around. It's like this is the lone one ready to feast.
Okay, great. Then I think, yeah, let's go. Let's Leroy Jenkins this guy. I'm going to try to drop from above, and I dual wield 2 short swords.
Yeah.
My goal here is to try and get. I don't know if this thing has a back, but I'm going to go for what looks like it's back and try to land right on the head and try to just get my best shot in there.
Okay, go for it. Roll your d20 and add your attack bonus.
All right. My attack bonus is where? I saw it.
It'll be.
It's under. Okay.
Yep.
So this is for the first one?
Yep.
Ooh, 23.
Ooh.
And he hits.
I hope so.
We see this little tiny flying ball of fur soar through the air, jamming
Yeah.
down
Beautiful.
into the back
Totally.
of the castle.
Was that both my attacks? Both swords? Or
That was just the first one.
that was just first one? How do you want to do it? You want damage first on that one? Or
Yeah, let's go ahead and do damage.
okay. I've got 1d6 plus 3p. What's the 3p mean?
Piercing.
Piercing damage.
It's just
Great.
the type of damage. Yeah.
Righto. Okay, first attack did 7 piercing.
Excellent. And then the second?
The second is, let's see, here we go again. Oh, crap. That was a 6, but I rolled a natural 1. I don't know what that means.
Okay. So normally I consider that a fumble and something bad usually happens.
Yeah.
So let's make a dexterity save to see if you sunk one sword in, but did you then just fall to the ground from your second attack?
Right. Is that a d20 for the dexterity save?
Yeah. Roll a d20 and add your, or if you have athletics, you can add that.
No, I nailed it. I got a 22 on that. That was
Okay.
I killed it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. You easily recover from your little fumble and grab onto the tree right there easily. So you can attack again from up there next turn.
All right, so I let it leap down, stab, and leap off.
Yeah.
If that's doable.
So
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think that's good. So we're on to spin.
Yes, all right. I am going to lash out with my rapier. 16 to hit.
It hits.
Okay.
So were you attacking one of the tentacles that was
Yes.
coming down? Okay.
Yes, I'm just like lashing for 10 damage, and then I'm gonna bonus action hide for 18.
Okay. Now let me write down the damage that you did, and then the hide is 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You quickly move in, give a big slice, and then disappear into the shadows of the jungle. That brings it up to Grizzle.
I will bonus action second wind and getting back 14 hit points. Not bad.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Nice.
And I do have a question.
Yes.
Well, actually, it won't matter for this turn. So I want to replace one of my attacks with my snapping jaws.
Yes.
The main body of this thing, how far away is that from me?
It is about like 13 feet.
13 feet away or 13 feet in the air?
Okay. 13 feet, kind of up and diagonal against a tree. So it's like coiled around this tree, and its long tentacles like came out of its body, and we're flailing, like attacking you.
Can I kind of like run at the tree and kind of try and parkour to leap at it?
Sure, yeah, go for it. I want this to be an epic, epic adventure.
Do you want a athletics check?
Yeah, and if you wanted to, since like that one hook like went into your arm, if you want to like wrap your arm around it and grab on and like kind of pull yourself like up to it, knowing that that's going to get you to the body of the creature.
Well, I don't have an open hand for that, so I would try
gotcha.
that.
Okay.
Nice thought, though.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're not going to be parkouring very well. That's only a 12 on my athletics check.
Okay. Yeah, you fall a little short of making it up the tree to be able to get to him.
All right. So what I will do with that tentacle, though, is I will snapping jaws at that.
Okay.
Oh, wow, these dice are terrible. That's I believe that's also a 12.
Yes, you go to try and bite into it, and you completely miss and just can't seem to get it between your teeth.
All right, well, my second attack, I'll lash out with my short sword. And that is actually even worse. So I'll be looking for another D20 soon. Curses you, you slippery thing, tentacled monstrosity.
And it is trying to now that it's its turn, it's trying to snap its jaw towards Hackham with a bite.
Oof.
Ooh, and it fumbled with a beautiful one.
Right back at you.
And its face just goes right into a tree that you just kind of glided onto. And then it's going to go ahead and try and use its tentacles again to the one has been damaged so badly, the one that Spin hit, that it's going to use its other 3 tentacles to try and have 2 of them go at Grizzle and 1 at Crudge. Oh. And Crudge, what was your AC?
17.
17. Okay. 2 of them come towards you, Grizzle. 1 lands, and the other one misses. And Crudge, the one hits you with just a little bit of a snap. Let me roll damage for both of you. Right.
Okay. Let's see.
Grizzle, you will take 6. Oh, whoops, I missed that. Okay. And then Crudge, you will take 7.
Okay.
And hang on just 1 second. And you
34.
Hackham, no, I'm sorry. Grizzle, you will take 4 poison damage. And Crudge, you will take 2 poison damage.
Ooh. All right.
And
Upon receiving this damage, I'm gonna spend a power from pain, and I'm going to heal my fighter friend for this D8. That's a D10. Hold on, there's a D8.
Yeah.
That's 4. You're gonna get 4 HP back as the healing warmth of the Emberson embraces you, and I get 4 temporary HP.
Excellent.
Cool.
And then we're back to the top with that was you on your actual turn, right? Or
No,
was
that was me responding to
Okay.
damage. Yeah,
Cool. Okay, then Crudge, you're at the top of the round.
it's my turn.
Yep.
Very well. Crudge, upon receiving this damage, he takes out the big, obsidian warhammer that he keeps on his back, and he's just gonna lay into this thing.
Nice.
All right, that's a miss. It's gonna be a 5 plus. It's a +6. It's 11. But
Okay. Yep, that misses.
the power of the Emberson propels my strikes, and I miss anyway. That's okay. Boop. That's my turn.
Yep. And Hackham.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to make some space between me and this thing. Get a little close. So I don't know if I have the actions to get like 10 feet of elevation and switch over to my bow and do an attack. If I don't have enough to do all those, then I'll simply switch to the bow.
Okay. I think.
Climb speed, so you can just use
Yeah.
that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your climb?
Climb is 20 feet, so I just want to do half that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do half that, and then pop out your bow and shoot.
Yeah, so I'll just take a quick shot as I use my tail to sort of, hold onto one of the branches of the tree.
Yep.
So I've got the same modifier for that guy. Yeah, dang, I'm a murdering machine tonight. 22.
Nice.
Boom, you lodged an arrow directly into it.
Yikers, 9 piercing.
Excellent. You see the arrow soar through the air, go right into it as it snaps around just a little bit to try and see what's digging into its flesh. And that takes us to Spin.
All right. So I'm going to emerge from between some of the underbrush and slash at the base of one of these tentacles. I have 21 to hit for 15 damage, and then I'm going to bonus action hide again for 23. So just right into the other side of the underbrush, like just
Wow.
in it.
Okay. Excellent. Nicely done. So you said 15 damage?
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry, I'm doing the math, which my brain is moving slow at. Okay, you put a nice little slash. You put a nice good slash into it, and you hear it kind of go and hiss out in a very agitated way. Grizzle, what do you do?
I'm going to keep trying to hack at this thing. I'm feeling kind of determined, and I fell short, but I felt like I could reach it. So I'm going to try and run up the tree again one more time. And that is a natural 20. So
Ooh, nice. Boom.
which my understanding is you can't crit a skill check anyway. So, but it's still a 27. So pretty decent.
Excellent.
And now I'm going to leap at it jaws first.
Okay. As we see two giant mouths, one giant mouth and a smaller mouth coming directly at it.
Yeah, basically. So that is a 21 to hit.
Awesome. Nicely done.
And I would just kind of latch onto its jaw, like underneath of it. I don't know if, or maybe even its lip. I don't know if you ever seen the cat meme with the anole lizard hanging from its lip.
Awesome.
I'm going to be the tiny dinosaur.
Wonderful.
That's cracked. How do you crack a 4-sider? For 8 points of damage as I latch on, and then I'm going to take my short sword and try and stab him around from behind.
Excellent.
But that's it for the dice.
All right, you're latched on tight. Your jaw has locked in, and you can feel it starting to. On its turn, it's trying to start flailing its head, and trying to shake you off. I guess.
So snapping jaws, I'm going to engage that grapple action as part of
Okay.
the bite.
It's like latched onto him. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. With that, is there any roll against that for him to try and shake you off with the grapple?
You can take an action.
Okay. Instead, it's just going to kind of start flailing its head around and start trying to move further up the trees to try and get away from the rest of the party. So as it's moving away and shaking its head, everybody else can take an attack of opportunity if you want as it's moving out of your area.
I swing both hands on the Warhammer. That's a natural 17. 23.
Nice. Very good. And the damage?
What is the damage?
Yeah. I was like,
That's a 2 on the damage die plus 3. So 5.
okay.
5 smashing damage.
Cool. Hackham, do you want to attack it while it's trying to go deeper into the jungle?
Yeah, I'm actually going to try to jump on Grizzle's back
Okay.
as he's on it. So, dexterity maybe.
Yep.
I got a 18.
Awesome. You easily leap through the air, jump on top of Grizzle's back, and you're.
So where is he attached? Is he attached at the throat?
So we've got this this big snake-like creature, right?
Yeah.
And its bottom jaw he's a bit on like this, and he's hanging on to the bottom jaw.
Yes.
And so
Okay.
and you're small on his back like this.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, when I get the chance, my goal here is to go after the eyes, with the switched over to the 2 swords.
Okay, so I'll give you another, you jumped onto him. I'll give you another action to jump on top of the head, and then from there it'll be the next round that you can actually start.
Yeah, I do have the extra attack feat that as a ranger, so that maybe I can use that here.
Yeah, I'll use that just for the extra jump on to him because the mouth is so large and you're so small, you'd have to spend that to jump onto that from where you are.
I'm horribly tempted to just go inside the mouth and start draxing him from the inside.
Yep.
I'm envisioning you now as a hibachi chef. But
No, it's just I'm sort of holding on to Grizzle with my tail while I try to go to town on this guy. All right, so we'll somehow trying to work over to the eyes here. Oh darn it. Yeah, so that's just an 11.
Okay, and that included your athletics.
Sorry, no, that was actually, so I rolled a natural 6. Athletics takes me just to 10.
Okay, all right. You managed to kind of scurry, since you're already there, you managed to scurry up to the top of the head, but you're barely hanging on.
All right, so not able to get an attack in.
No.
Okay, sounds good.
Spin?
Yes. Was this for the attack of opportunity?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I rolled the 6, so I probably
Okay. Awesome. And Grizzle, since you're being pulled with him, kind of foregoing your attack of opportunity since you're still in the space. So now we're back to that was Grizzle's turn, and then it would have been its turn and it was receding. So we're back to the top of the round with Crudge.
Oh my goodness. What does Crudge do? How far away are they now?
So let me see real quick the movement rate of so he's moving at 30 feet. He moved to 30 feet that round.
Crap.
He's going to move at a slower rate in the jungle because now that you're getting off of the path, it's a heavy jungle versus a normal terrain.
So I thought he was climbing up. He's not. He's climbing away.
Yeah, he's climbing up and away. It's not like
oh my goodness.
So it's
okay.
He's working his way deeper into the jungle and higher up.
Well, Crudge is not going to stand for this. He's not going to let his devoted ally fall to this beast. So he's going to pursue and then fire Sacred Flame upward at the beast as it flees.
Oh, that sounds hot. Are we? Because we're attached to this guy.
I mean, if it is the will of the Emberson for you to get burned, that's a natural 14 plus 6, dirty 20.
Excellent. And you hit. And the
Cool.
damage?
It's what is it? Was that a D8? I think it's a D8. Yeah, Sacred Flame. No, it's a D6. My bad.
Okay.
2d6. That's 7. Radiant.
You hear it go as it just kind of starts spitting. Grizzle, you're feeling spit coming out of its mouth as it's hissing and very upset with being scorched by the flame and being burned by the Emberson's might. So that brings us to Hackham.
I continue with my noble task of pincushioning this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll.
All right. Oh, I am awesome with this thing.
Nice.
That's a 23.
Dice
Excellent.
like you tonight, man.
Yep.
Yeah, this is awesome. That was a 23 on the first one. And 5 piercing.
Awesome. And for the second attack?
Second attack, that's a 21 for the second attack.
Okay. You're taking this thing down.
And a 6. I suppose it does make sense that I'm able to hit it since I'm clinging to its head.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like as you're
stabbing
doing it,
away.
it is just starting to shake and move, and you've got a tail carried around like one of the spiky horns that's kind of like part of the face, the part of the head that's coming off. So you're just anchored down and just wailing on it. And you can see like as you're jabbing down into it, you're definitely doing a serious amount of damage because there's just like spurts of blood popping out as you're starting to break into some of the bone of the skull. Spin.
How far has it gotten?
It has gotten 30 feet because I was at just that one round. Because he
Okay.
goes at the end of this round.
And this is difficult terrain, so I probably can't reach
Yes.
it. Okay. Can I switch over to a crossbow and fire off a shot that way?
Sure.
And does that still count as a sneak attack?
It can't really see where you are. I mean, because it's like its eyes are going this way and you're back here. So
Yeah.
You also have allies engaged with it.
yeah. So yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a 17 to hit.
You hit.
All right. And 9 damage. Then I bonus action hide for 24.
Excellent.
I can do
All right.
one thing.
You attacked and then you hit again. And now it is Grizzle's turn.
Yeah, I kind of like throw my short sword in the air and reverse grip it, and I'm just stabbing it as I'm hanging from it. So a 16 and a 14.
You hit with both of those.
Oh, nice. And that is going to be 15 points of damage.
All right. You can feel it, like you can feel that it's starting to like waver just a little bit as it's starting to try and move away. It is going to, as it's moving through the trees, it's going to try and use some of its tentacles to come up and try and hit Hackham off of the top of him.
Ruh-roh.
What's your AC?
16. I'm dual wielding though, so it's 17.
Sorry. Okay, both of those miss, and then it's one of the tentacles is just kind of drooping down by the side, and the other one tries coming up to hit Grizzle and misses as well. But it is making, even though it's wavering, it's still making some movement through the trees, deeper and deeper into the jungle. That brings us back to Crudge. It is now about 60 feet away.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Sacred Flame is 60 feet range. I'm going to move 15 more feet in. That's 15. I should still be in range?
Yep.
Is it going to have... It probably has cover or something.
Yes.
I was looking, and Sacred Flame is D8s. I
Okay.
get that mixed up. Okay, so I'm going to... it's a natural 9. That's going to come out to a 15.
That hits?
Sacred Flame's
Does
a dex save.
Is it?
Oh, it's a dex save?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm doing it differently. Okay, dex save for that. Yeah.
Okay, what do I need to get?
14 is the DC.
Okay. It misses, so you hit.
Cool. It's gonna be not bad. 9 damage of the radiant variety.
You hear it lash out another horrible shrill shriek that starts to echo through the canopy of the jungle. There's now, like, as that happens, you hear like movement in the trees, like things. It sounds like things are breaking the surface of the canopy of the jungle, probably trying to get away from whatever this horrible sound is. And that brings us back to Hackham.
Yeah, so at this point, Burr, my nearness, has shown up.
Yeah.
He's too tiny to do anything, but the light from his belly stones might help them keep track of the chase. And he's sort of flitting around, trying to be helpful, but not being particularly helpful.
Excellent.
So at this point, I'm a little surprised this thing's not dead yet. So I look around. Is there anything else on this thing I should be hitting that I'm not hitting?
No, and you can feel that the breathing is definitely very labored now as you're riding on top of it, and it probably doesn't have much left in it. You can feel that it's nearing the end of its existence.
I'll just keep doing what I'm doing then. So pincushion time. First one, boom, 18 modified to 23.
Hits.
For 6.
As you deal this final stab into it, all of a sudden you can start to feel that you're about to be going down on a roller coaster.
We feel it's like that upward and then downward thing.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to leap to. For me, it's no big deal. Grizzle's the one in trouble. I'm just gonna leap out of there.
Okay. Just make a dex check just to make sure that you don't fumble.
No, I did 22.
Okay. You leap off and get to a tree quite easily. Grizzle, all of a sudden, like, the jaw has just, instead of being, like, taut and tight, it just kind of goes slack. The tongue falls down on you. And what are you doing?
So Grizzle's in a bit of a frenzy. So he like wraps his arms and his legs around it and tries to torque it, and he wants to ride it to the ground. And he's just like trying to savage it on the way down.
Awesome. Make a strength check to see if you can twist it, because you're coming down. And it's like your head's headed towards the ground. See if you can turn that thing around.
So strength or athletics?
Go with athletics.
That would be a 26.
All right. You're like going down fast, but you easily snap it around, and you're like the adrenaline's running through you as you feel the thrill of riding this crazy snake down to the ground. So you ride it all the way down the 60 feet it had gotten in the strange diagonal angle, all the way to the ground, and feel it collapse just and stop underneath of you.
Grizzle will hop up. Yes, finally, something worth doing around here. Let's find another one.
So Spin and Crudge, you work your way over to where they are.
Absolutely. We're picking our way through the brush.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am already ready to leave.
Very soon we'll get what we came for. What is this creature that almost did us in here?
Dead. Like it should be.
How do you think it tastes?
That's a very good question, actually. And I eye it suspiciously.
Where's Morgan when we need him?
Speaking of Grizzle, your mouth feels just a little bit numb from what you do it.
Okay. How is Grizzle looking? Crudge is concerned. He knew he went on a bit of a ride there.
I am down like 14.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna throw just a little. Here's a little pick me up. I'm gonna go level 2 cure wounds. It's gonna be. Oh, that's an awesome roll. You are max health, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
Everybody, make a perception check.
Perception.
Natural 20, Brian.
Me
I don't
too.
even, I don't even need to roll.
Nice.
That's a 2. I was distracted.
That is a 14.
Okay, so for everybody except for Crudge, you see like where this giant creature has fallen down seems to be right in the center of an area that's filled with very large stones. There are big, almost totem pole-like fixtures that are carved out of stone with strange faces on them in 3 different spots. And then in the big center, probably about 30 feet around, is almost like a platform of stone down into the ground with a 10-foot wide stairway goes down underneath the surface of the jungle floor.
Well, that won't do. Those things are too heavy to cart off.
What things? Oh,
Looking at it closely, you notice that it's not like filled with cobwebs. It's not overgrown. So it looks like this is probably fairly recently traveled.
okay.
So it's an entrance to a cavern of some sort, or a something down below the earth. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it looks man-made. So it's like the stones have been laid in, and then there's stairs going down, and these giant stone kind of totems almost look like idols around this base. If you want to roll like a knowledge check or a history check, you might recognize some of what.
Yep. Natural 1.
Yep. It looks like you just assume this is something from some other strange culture that would have no bearing on Revilo whatsoever.
Yeah, so Grizzle will check them out and look at them, because you said they're like totems, I guess like
Yep.
animals or something. And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so he's kind of looking at them, and he reaches into a pouch and he pulls out a handful of things that are kind of shiny and sparkle a little bit, and and holds them up. They're little glass blown figurines that he's made.
Nice.
And he's like comparing them to these totems. Perhaps later I will replicate one of these.
Excellent. You make a mental note and picture the 3 different ones that are around. So what do you all do now?
So none. I guess yeah. I rolled a flat 3 for that. Know what the hell these things are? Check. So I don't know what the hell these things are.
You don't think your relic would be in there, do you?
I guess it's worth a shot. It's supposed to be on this island somewhere. I do know that.
I would imagine that there are probably valuable things in there regardless, and maybe it would be worth checking out. Smile.
Well, as long as it's not our relic, everything is yours for the taking, as far as I'm concerned.
I do not think we will find volunteers down there, but perhaps we will convince someone.
You never know where you will find glory for the Emberson. So, yeah, I guess we walk on down, right? It's like a...
This would
Yep. So go ahead.
This would be so much easier if we stopped trying to convince people and you just let me toss them in.
The fear taints the taste of their meat for our god. We have to have them be voluntary sacrifices.
So I'm not a big caves guy, so I'm gonna do my crawl up on Grizzle's shoulder thing, and Burr will sort of fly in around us. It doesn't give off enough light to really illuminate stuff, but we can see Burr down there, kind of defining the space a little bit, probably.
Cool.
And I follow closely and quietly.
Nice. As you start to go down the stairs, it narrows from 10 feet down to 5 feet as you get down to the first landing, and then in front of you is a wooden door filling the space. So it's like you went down underground. You can still see the light from above kind of shining in. Grizzle, do you light a torch like you had before?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the door before you.
Okay. There's a door. What's this door look like?
It looks like it is about 5 feet tall. So it's a little short for the Bernadazzi. It's about what's average in a lot of the Revilo setting cities, just to accommodate different races.
Mm-hmm.
But you will definitely have to duck to get into the door. But it looks wooden. It doesn't look like it's really damaged. It doesn't. The doorknob on it looks pretty standard.
Well, shall we? I just move forward to open the door.
Okay.
Yep.
You open the door into a corridor that you duck your head into, and there are torches lining the walls, and the torches are lit. And off in the distance, you can hear what sounds like singing.
What is that sound, Grizzle?
How does this sound compare to the singing we heard when approaching the island?
That sounded much more like it kind of cut into your soul a little bit. Like it almost made you want to go and listen more. This just sounds like multiple people singing a song together, like some a little off key, some on point. The other seemed like a little more like almost like it was calling you.
Mm-hmm.
So are we able to recognize any of the words or the verses?
No, not from where you are. Not from where you are.
Okay.
You can just hear it off in the distance. Maybe as you get closer. The corridor, you can see it's well lit with torches going down about 40 feet before it looks like it then goes to the left, and it dead ends right there before going off to the left. And you can see from the shadows.
Grizzle will reach down and poke Spin. You should go see what they're doing.
All you had to do was ask, and I will hide and sneak forward and go recon.
Nice.
Okay.
That's 19.
Awesome. So you move up, you take the turn, and you can see where it then comes to a T after about another 20 feet, one heading north, one heading south. You can hear the music coming from the northern corridor, and you can hear it getting closer. With your character having traveled a bit and been around Revilo quite a lot, I imagine you've seen and been around more Outlanders than a lot of the rest of the group. So as you're hearing the music, you recognize the songs just a little bit, but you can't quite place it, and you know it's not really something that's part of the normal Revilo like campfire singing, but it is something that you've heard before. Do you want to keep going, or do you want to head back?
Oh yeah, I want to go a little further. I want to see if I can get visuals on this.
Okay. After about 30 feet, the room or the corridor opens up. There is a door, but it is wide open right now, so that you can see fire kind of flickering in the room ahead of you, and from the corridor you see the backs of people, as it looks like there's probably, without getting too close on it, you can see there's a large group of people sitting around a fire, just kind of singing. It's a mix of humans, dwarves, and elves, all just kind of sitting around. They have wineskins and things like that, and they're playing different musical instruments, some of which you have never seen before, some crafted out of what looks like probably some materials that are found here in the jungle, and it looks like they're all just kind of having a good time.
Can I see any of their faces from here?
Do you want to move up further? From here, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell in the flicker of the firelight. You'd probably have to get closer.
I have always been bad at gauging whether or not I should risk doing something, and usually I lean yes, so I'm gonna.
Okay. You move up a little closer and roll your stealth check again.
All right. Like 24.
Okay. You move up, and then you're looking around and looking at faces. I assume you're looking for the mark.
Oh, yes.
You see, like, now that you're closer, it's basically like you've you've worked your way all the way up to the edge of the room, and the room has probably 16 people in it, like 12 adults, 4 children, and at least half of them have the mark, from what you can tell just from looking at the faces that you've seen.
But some do not.
Right.
All right. I'm going to withdraw, head back, and let them know what I have seen.
Okay.
It seemed like a revelry.
Oh, they're rejoicing. Yes.
Worship. Is there lava?
No. But there's fire.
Maybe that's close enough for these people.
Maybe with their strange ways and their fleshy bodies.
So you say that only some of them had the marking that we
Yes.
are searching for. What do you think? What do you suppose?
I wonder if perhaps, because that elf did say that she hadn't done it to herself, so maybe it's one of their traits. You know, like some people have blue eyes, and some people have orange scales, and some have more blue tone. Maybe some of them are born with this mark, and some of them are not.
Interesting thought. I would say we should ask, but I don't think we should ask.
I
No,
can
they
start
didn't.
stabbing until they tell us.
Easy there, Grizzle. We're not here to that's not how we make friends, remember?
Brian, any other halls or avenues that we haven't explored?
There was one. Once Spin turned to the left, there was one heading south that she didn't go down.
Did she notice anything about it as she went by?
There were more torches that were along the walls heading south, but they were not lit up heading southbound.
Okay. I'm not gonna like strike off. I just don't like caves and underground stuff, so I'm gonna stick with Grizzle.
Well, I would suggest going down the way that the people are not, because that is less likely to draw their attention, and perhaps they've left things lying there. No reason, of course, that I would be concerned about that.
Was there another way out where the people are?
Did I notice one?
Yes. So that room was large, and there were doors on the western side and the northern side.
Oh, yes.
Those doors were shut.
Not ready, but there.
Well, emissary, what would you like to do?
I'm thinking. Well, if they're rejoicing, then suppose we could just sort of, what is the term? Crash their party, as it were.
I love it.
I do like parties. Lots of inebriated people.
Perhaps they could be convinced to give the flesh unto Emberson.
Perhaps?
There's only one way to find out.
It seems totally reasonable.
Right. I know, right?
It is a great honor.
Onward. And I go.
Yep, I follow.
Okay. So you're all heading to the party.
Yes, they'll probably hear us coming.
Yeah, we're not being stealthy.
Right. And especially with the clankety clank of the armor.
Ka-chonk.
That Grizzle's not wearing. So as you start working your way down the corridor towards them, you hear the music slowly fade out, and then all of a sudden you hear a little bit of scurrying and just kind of people jumping up to kind of get in place as you're working your way towards the open room, and you see in front of you various group of 16 humans, elves, and dwarves, and one human with the mark on her face stands up, proud and... What are you doing here?
Greetings, I am here to not stab people. The emissary says we want to make friends.
Well
Friends.
put, Grizzle. Well put.
And I give them my best smile,
Yeah.
which involves a lot of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. She kind of backs up just a little bit and like puts her arms out, like trying to get the rest of the group to back up just a little bit. You're just here to make friends.
Yes, and not stab people.
We heard rejoicing as we traversed the corridor here, and we thought we would join in. Crash your party, I think.
Guess come sit.
Yes,
And then she
How
like,
kind.
and we're not going to ask about the mark on your face, because we were told you don't like that here.
that would be very kind of you. And she offers for you to sit down, and you see the rest of their group kind of start to sit back down, but a couple of them are standing up against the walls. A couple of the bigger folks, the more muscular ones, are still standing and just waiting just to make sure everything pans out the way you said it would.
You said there's children here as well?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I will reach back into that pouch with the figurines, and I imagine they're like just glass blown figurines of, creatures from the region that were from like animals. And and when I see the children, I hold them out towards them. Do you like animals?
And one of the kids comes up. Yes.
Take one, and for your friends too.
And she quickly like grabs one, and then two more. Thank you. And then she goes back and gets the other kids to come and sit down in the corner with her and look at them.
You're welcome. They're blessed by the Ember Sun. That gives us the fire to make them.
Yes.
The human that first spoke, she's like, "Thank you. That's very kind of you to give that to our children. Why are you down here in our home?"
Well, we search for a mere bauble, a trinket, if you will. Do I know what it is I'm looking for, or am I just like on just kind of wild goosing it here?
No, you know what you're looking for.
Okay,
You can,
I'm going to
describe it however you like.
I'm going to describe. Oh, okay. Yes, it is the an orb about the size of an apple from where you are from that glows with the red radiance of the Embersons.
Why are you looking for that?
It is an important relic for my people, my religion, let's say. Holds it into great esteem, and we'd be very pleased if it were to be returned to us. You see.
To you? Are you
Us.
Are you giving it to anyone else?
Well, I will bring it and give it to my superiors back in the pits where I am from. I'm merely an emissary, as my colleague has stated.
Okay. And I've heard that something like that was around these parts, but I don't know exactly where it is.
Then we have similar information. We should compare notes.
But why would I share that information with you? I mean, the little glass animals are very cute, and that is very, very nice of you.
I cannot fathom why you would not. I've come here openly with my friends, being friendly.
Not stabbing.
We didn't stab you once.
Not once.
Not once, indeed. So we heard that there were some strange, not strange. I'm sorry. Some creatures like you up at the trading post.
It's quite all right. You're quite strange to us as well.
I imagine so.
So soft and fleshy.
Hands bold.
So Brian, while the adults are chatting, I'm gonna sort of clamber off Grizzle and go sort of inspect some of the children who are more my size
Okay.
and more appropriate. Do any of them have the mark on their face?
Just one of the children.
Just one of the children. So, again, being sort of painfully unable to obfuscate, I'm going to sort of poke it in the cheek, him or her in the cheek, and just sort of, so what is that?
The little boy gets, ow, they didn't like my family. They didn't like my family.
And so I sort of sniff it, it's like, do they not like your family because you have no fur?
No, they burned us. They burned us because we didn't like what they were doing.
So I'll just sort of keep this line of questioning going with the child, poking and prodding, and generally being way too forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As you do that, like after like you got a couple of questions in and a little bit of poking, the child, what looks like is probably his mother, comes over and goes, "You stop touching him."
You'll say, but why?
Do you like people touching your children?
I don't have any children.
Your kind's children, then? What are you?
I am a proselyte. What are you?
I'm a human.
Does she also have the mark?
She does.
She does. All right. And I'll say, you are bald like the others.
But I've got dark brown, luxurious hair.
Certainly, so you say. So at this point, I mean, do I feel I have no capability of sort of persuading them, or actually, I guess I do have pretty decent persuasion. I can't obfuscate though.
Right.
Nope.
So I'm just going to ask her to see what she says. Did they do that to you because they didn't like your family the same way they didn't like his? I don't. It's not clear to me that they're related.
Right. You want to roll your persuasion check and see what she rolls against you?
Oh no, I am bad at persuasion. I lied.
You can't
Yes, I will not be persuading her today.
Nope.
Sorry, I rolled a 3.
He is my family. And then she's like, "It's time for bed anyway." And she gets him.
I am not tired yet.
Not to you. It's time for the children to go to bed. Come, children. Gets all the kids and takes them out of the door that was on the western side of the room.
So he said they burned him because they didn't. Let's see, his family didn't like what they were doing.
Yes. No.
Okay.
They didn't like what his family was doing.
I got it. Okay.
They being the authority, we don't know who they is. So
Right. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So back to the conversation with the human that was holding everybody back. That was so my name is Sital, and aside from the orb, do you have any other interest in the island at all?
Sata. I like that name. I like to say it. Sata. You are fleeing. That's why you've come so far, right?
Where did you come from?
How far away did we come from?
So you originally came from the fiery pits, and then you came down through the desert, through the Waiju Desert, then came down in between the Forest of the Dead, along the edge of the Forest of the Dead, and down to the
So
salts.
far, we came far as well.
Yeah.
cross continent is what we did.
Yes, we traveled far to find the relic for the emissary for Emberson.
And were you in Merk's Hollow at all?
I have not been out
Or
of the.
not, so you can know.
I have not been out of the fire pits until we came on our quest.
Do you know any of those blue gray scroll creatures?
Are there any in the fire pits?
No.
No, but I've heard of them.
You've heard they're brutal and ruthless and just out to pretty much take over and kill anything that they can. Which doesn't seem to bother you, probably, but...
Yeah.
They remind me of some of my family, to be honest with you.
We've heard they're great warriors. No.
I've heard that as well. So, and have you, the other... What are you again?
Bernadazzi.
Emberson's chosen.
Emberson's chosen.
Yeah.
Have you been to Merksalo?
I have not, have I?
No, huh?
No.
Unless you think you have, yeah.
Not that I can't say that I have. I'm not much for urban environments, let's say.
It's so cold outside of the fire pits, and there's no sand.
What if I told you that you could get that orb, but you would have to go to that city? And
anything for the Emberson, friend. I will listen.
The Emberson. You're talking about sacrificing things to, right? Was that what I heard?
That's not inaccurate, but only if the sacrifice is a willing, participant, let's say.
You wouldn't make an exception to the rule in the trade for the orb.
The old ways was very much like that, but the emissary here is very new wave.
Yeah, I'm very progressive.
I can go either way.
I think that the person that has the orb would be willing to trade it to you if you would be able to get into that city and take one of their people and throw them to your god.
Any of them? Just grab a person, throw them in, we can get the orb?
There's one in particular.
Oh. We could probably do that.
It depends on the person. We've become a bit more picky with who goes into the fiery pits.
What would the criteria be?
Do they burn?
Yes, they need to burn. They need to be flammable.
Are they flammable?
Yes.
They're like me. They're from my homeland.
Well, then that part is covered. It's true. What are the other criteria?
Well, you're very big on them wanting to do it.
Oh, that's sort of my new take on the religion. There are those back home that will just throw anyone down the pits. I suppose it'd probably be fine.
Twice on Tuesday.
This person would not go willingly. I'm certain this person would not go willingly.
We can be very persuasive.
Yes. If it means we can get a hold of this artifact, I suppose I can make this exception.
So how would we make this transaction work? If you were to go there, get this person, take them, sacrifice them, how would you prove to us that you sacrificed them? And then in return give you the orb?
It seems like a lot of traveling.
You have it here, you say?
Someone has it here.
Okay.
Emissary, can't we just go stab the person that has it and take it?
That is becoming more tempting. Do not remind me that is an option, friend.
We outnumber you quite heavily.
But your flesh is so soft and squishy.
And we have the power of the Emberson on our side.
Did those people mark you?
Those people? What do you speak of?
In the city, where you want us to find the person for the volcano.
Yes. That
Why?
is the person that we want thrown in the volcano.
I see no issue with this.
Does the person that you want volcanoed, do they have anything on them which we could give you to show you that we volcanoed them?
Very good thinking. Yes.
That is good. Yes. He has a specific brooch that is in the shape that is on our face.
And if we show it to you to prove that we've gotten him as we say we did, can we keep it afterward?
Yes, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
We will not ever want to see it again.
Well, if no one is opposed to this plan, I think it is quite a good one. Everyone good?
Yes.
We're going to have to figure out how to get there. You got a map?
Yes. And pulls out this fabric map, and then
Oh, what a nice map you have.
Oh, it's lovely.
hands this dice tray that's part of our Kickstarter add-ons. Are you not familiar? Well, you said you've never traveled there. Have any of you traveled to the northwest of your continent?
Well, if it's the northern part, it won't be terribly far from home, at least compared to here. It's going to be a hell of a journey.
And
How do we know you really have the orb?
we could send someone with you to make sure that it happens, or we could send them with you and they could have the orb with them.
Oh, very trusting.
That sounds like a good plan.
You're in luck.
Maybe we'll just wait for that piece to come back.
Like I say, no chill.
So might I ask who we're volcanoing?
That would be a guy that goes by the name Baron Merc von Horvath.
That's what I thought.
I had
That's a coincidence.
funny
Isn't
feeling.
that the name of the city?
That is the name of the city.
Wow.
That will not be the name of the city for long.
What do you mean?
Nope.
You can't just change the name of a city. Can you just change the name of a city?
I believe he did.
He did change it, and we were trying to help change it back when he decided he didn't like us helping.
Okay.
And that's why we've come as far as we have.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot of soldiers around him.
There will be. And even more by the day.
Are we allowed to throw them into the volcano?
You can... I do not care.
I could probably pull some strings and let the circle allow this. You should at least be present.
Oh, maybe if they see the glory of the Emberson, they will want to sign on.
Oh, absolutely. That's without question.
I one day am going to do it myself.
Is there anyone in Mark's Hollow, friends of yours, folks left behind with this so-called rebellion? Anybody we could chat with once we got there before we start, my Bernadazzi friends here start stabbing people?
Yes, we will put you in contact with someone. We'll make sure that message is sent ahead of time, and once you are getting close to there, they will reach out to you.
Good to know. Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
So,
You need
this man,
anything Mm-hmm.
is he very wealthy?
He's got a whole city.
He has a town named after him, yes.
But I don't think you can take that with you.
No.
He does have many riches. He's been taking much from the people he's been conquering.
So it isn't his.
He considers it his.
It doesn't sound like it's his, though.
No.
There are
I'm
many
sure
who
they won't mind
probably
risk
like
him a
it
little
back.
off the top.
Probably not, especially if it got returned to them.
Okay,
Perfect.
I'm down. Let's do this.
What, just from our general knowledge of the continent, Brian, would we have a sense of, days travel, weeks travel, months travel? How long would this, what would we be signing on for here?
It would be an epic quest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would be gone for a long time. I would say it would be definitely close to getting close to a month, just based on the terrain and the things that you would probably encounter along the way.
And given where we are, is going by sea a possibility?
It is not, because the way the sea current works around the continent is it constantly moves in a circle, and then when you get to the point where Merc's Hollow is, it tends to bring ships in and crash them against the shore.
Well, that sounds bad.
That could be very efficient.
like-
Get us right there.
If you went this way, totally. I guess that is a way to get there.
Yeah. I'm not that good of a swimmer. Is the only issue.
Plus, all the Outlanders, none of the Outlanders that have tried to leave have been successful at it. Most believe that the god Anaxcopel that lives in the sea has taken those souls into down with them.
Ooh.
Is there anything that we need to do for you to make this for you to take this journey? I understand this orb must be very important to you.
It is very important to us.
Is there any like time constraints that we have for retrieving the orb?
No.
I don't think so. No.
No festivals, holidays for Emberson that we've got to get it back for. Holy days.
Like, yeah, Christmas isn't going to be ruined if we don't get this thing back, right?
Right. Everyone gets coal in their bags, but it's like it's exciting thing to get coal. It's not a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The day we
Coal!
retrieve
Oh, thank you, Mom and Dad.
the day we've retrieved this will become a holy holiday in the name of Emberson.
All right.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
Well, let us rest the night and then we will head off.
Yes, if we could just have the evening to rest up, that would be more than ample, and you've been more than kind. We appreciate you.
Well, you're more than welcome to sleep in this room. We don't have much to give you aside from the floor, but we will leave you in here to rest.
All right. Thank you so much.
She-
Emberson, walk with you.
The rest of the people. And she just kind of looks at you, just kind of odd, and then gets everyone else to go through the doorway that they took the kids off to, and you hear behind it, you hear like a piece of wood kind of coming down. Behind the doorway.
Okay.
Well, that sounded perfectly not ominous.
Yeah, we're getting
Right.
hard in.
What do you guys want to do?
There's no elevation in here for me. I'm in like it's just
No.
a room. No, great.
No.
Okay.
Yep. Do you want to accept this as the quest that you're going to go on, and your characters are going to take that, or are you going to go and like try and figure out where it is within, if they have it on their in this dungeonish area?
I think
Honestly, Finn kind of wants to see this guy suffer.
Mm-hmm. Crudge sees this as a test put before him by the Emberson to prove himself. So he's gonna go and he's gonna go on the journey.
Awesome. Cool. Well, so this game was set to be a 2 to 3 hour game, and we're at the 2 hour mark, and this is like an epic journey because I don't know how to tell stories that aren't longer than a one shot.
I understand.
I think this is a great stopping point, and it's also one of the major themes that is in our campaign setting is this character that's taken over this town, this evil character, Baron Merc von Horvath. So it's a good introduction to the people that are watching at home to have an idea of some of the political struggles that are currently going on in the setting, and lots of the different races and things that you guys have played. So thank you all so much for being a part of tonight. I really, really appreciate
Oh
it.
man,
Awesome.
Had a great time. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
It's
you.
really great playing a non-traditional D&D race in this, and being able to think of things that are really foreign to the traditional elf dwarf human setup is terrific.
Thank you.
Thanks
you.
for
You guys
thanks
did
for
a
having us, Dave.
fantastic job.
no, thanks
Yes.
for being on. And like you said, I do like playing the different races as well. Although Grizzle's voice is killing me at this point.
My voice would be shot if I had to run. Had to run this much.
I cannot. I never imagined when going to plan this game that there were going to be 2 Bernadazzi's within the group, and you guys did a great job, especially working it in as a way that's not just a horrible evil bastard just killing and destroying everything. So you guys
We're
did.
progressives.
Well, you're the progressive, and I'm just following along.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm more than happily to resort to just stabbing random things and throwing it in a volcano.
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun, dude. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Terrific setting, Brian. Love it.
It's definitely
Thank you
a
very
cool
much.
feel, and yeah, maybe we'll have to jump on here and finish this at some point.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Oh, that'd be great.
We got
I'm down.
Absolutely.
we got a place where
Yeah.
people can let us know if they want to see this get finished or not, and that is the comments below. Also, pinned in the comments and in the description is a link to Revilo, the campaign setting and the bestiary that's over on Kickstarter. How much longer do you have?
We have 1 hour short of a week. Next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern is when the Kickstarter ends. It's got the campaign setting book. It's got a bestiary book. It's got these plastic bestiary pawns that are like
Ooh,
0.125 thick. They're rigid and they look so pretty.
They're really
We've
nice.
got
that's awesome.
tarot size cards that are the bestiary cards. We've got add-ons like this super fancy spell book that Elderwood Academy put together for us. We got the
Ooh.
dice trays. We've got all sorts
Was
of.
that a gray skull on there?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yep. So
Yeah. I was torn between the gray skull and the Bernadazzi.
I think this worked out perfect. I think
Oh,
that.
man.
Oh yeah, it was
This
fun.
is so good. It's such a weird party composition, like even from a Revilian standpoint. It's just,
Yes.
what are these people doing?
Nice.
Hiding from a bigger scarier behind two big scaries.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
with that, thanks for being on. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us. Go check out the Kickstarter. And speaking of Kickstarters, we're actually launching our own next week, so you keep your eyes peeled for that. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Thanks, guys.